All right, let's go.
Ricky Henderson would want us to carry on. So
So would President Carter.
oh, yeah. History's greatest monster. So the only decent human being to ever hold the role.
Low bar.
Yeah.
Low bar, but still
Very-
true.
Very low bar to clear.
I don't know. Roosevelt, the first one, I guess, wasn't bad.
I mean, Roosevelt the first had his issues. I mean, he made the
No,
national
not
park.
the first one. Not the wheelchair one. The New Deal one. The second one.
Oh,
My bad.
New Deal Roosevelt's solid, but I think he was probably still a scumbag. He was just
Oh, I'm
probably
sure.
a
Didn't
good
he-
guy scumbag.
Wasn't he like a weeb for the presidency too? Like, didn't he like specifically like? There's something weird about him. Like he like married into that name, or there's something. I remember reading something weird about him. Like he was
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
obsessed.
His wife
Obsessed.
was hideous.
Well, he's
But
probably
also, but she was actually a good person.
yeah.
Was she?
I don't, what,
Yeah, apparently Eleanor Roosevelt was just a really good human being.
what about Eleanor Rigby?
She had a song about her.
It's true. All right, go guys.
Welcome to Movie the Podcast. That's right, Movie the Podcast. We had a very special episode of Movie the Podcast for you. We broke format because we had an extra week, thanks Jesus' birthday, and we watched Tokyo Godfathers, a touching film that we're going to touch on later.
Yeah, and then we're all gonna touch on each other
Hey, yo.
for the new year.
Nice.
Yeah, we decided to watch a Christmas movie the week after Christmas. But I love this movie. I'm not gonna tease it out. I think this movie's great. I'm glad everybody got to watch it.
You know what sucks is like I wanted to watch this movie specifically to pick a movie that I thought Alec would like, and he's not on. Like
Yeah.
that was the whole reason I picked this.
And he probably didn't watch it, so
Yeah,
I think he would have enjoyed it. I think it would.
I think, but I also have no idea.
who knows?
He's such a wild card.
Yeah, he
It
really
is
is.
a movie full of good people.
Yeah.
So, like, that's certainly one in its...
And it's ultimately like a very positive message. Like it's a very sweet film.
It is. We'll get into it, but I was telling TJ before you joined, like, the first
You didn't
half
like
of the
me?
movie, the first 45 minutes. No, I don't, I'll tell you that to your face.
Oh, okay. I don't feel like you would.
No, I wouldn't, because I love you, so I couldn't
Oh.
say it. I couldn't even joke about it. It makes me sad. The first of the movie, I was kind of like, I was like, I wasn't with it. I was just like, okay.
There's
whatever.
a lot of shrieking in this.
Like this, yeah, this feels like a miss. Like, I don't know. And then the second half gets a little, the second act gets a little more intense and like more of a mystery than, but the third act, I was weeping by the end of the film.
Yeah.
So like, it got me good. Solid. But anywho,
Good.
we'll get into that shortly.
We'll get into that very soon. But let's get this out of the way. What did y'all watch this week? Sean.
Oh fuck! I watched stuff.
What kind of stuff?
Hey guys, yeah, make sure you pick the Devil's -2 tonight, Mafia. What the fuck?
Oh God.
I feel like we reference that guy all the time. I can never remember his Mad Dog. That guy.
Scott. Oh, I thought you were talking about Scott.
Scott
Farrell.
Farrell.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, is he also not called
Yeah,
Mad
yeah.
Dog?
No,
Get out.
Mad Dog is Chris Russo.
Oh, okay. Does he all
Who
like
sound-
that?
No, Chris Russo, you'll remember from Bad Lieutenant. He's on the radio.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And fun fact, he used to be, his like radio partner was this other guy, Mike Francesca, I think is his name.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
And he is in Uncut Gems. Like,
Right.
like apparently he was upset.
Is he one of the bookies?
I think he's the guy that he makes the bet with, like the big bet. Anyway,
The guy
apparently,
who's sitting there with the glasses, like, don't do this. This is stupid.
apparently Mike Francesca, or however you say his name, was upset that he was never in a movie, but Russo was. So that's why the Russo brothers approached him.
What's the better movie?
The Safdie brothers. He wasn't in.
Excuse me, the Safdie brothers.
He wasn't in Winter Soldier.
He could have been. God, what's the better movie between Uncut Gems and
Bad
Bad
Lieutenant,
Lieutenant?
right? Like barely.
Uncut Gems.
Really?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'd so quickly throw that out there. I don't know. Bad
And are we talking about
Lieutenant.
the original Bad Lieutenant, or are we talking about
Yeah.
Port of Call, New
Port of Call
Orleans?
fucking rules, but I think we're talking about the original one.
We're talking about
It'd be
the
weird
original.
if they're talking about the Knicks game that much in fucking New Orleans.
I'm gonna
I
give.
gotta revisit.
I'm gonna give it to Bad Lieutenant.
I gotta
love
revisit
Uncut
Keitel's Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah, it's amazing. But I mean, I love Uncut Gems, so it's a tough decision.
Yeah.
But I think that
watch.
the Safdies are definitely like heavily inspired by
Oh, no
Abel
doubt.
Ferrara.
Oh, without
Miss
question.
45 rules. We gotta watch that at some point if it's like
Yeah.
available anywhere.
I have it on the Plex already, I think.
Oh, nice.
I fucking Good Times is so good, and no one's seen it. It's such a fucking
Oh yeah,
shame.
Good Times is
Movie
great.
is awesome. Like, is that movie like forgotten or was? I don't know. Like, it's hard.
It was
'cause it's
impossible to
outside
get
of
a
our
Blu-ray
bubble.
of it.
Yeah.
It's not on streaming. It's not digital. It was like I'm saying, it was like the Blu-ray cost me an arm and a leg. I think like it was just like, but I needed like this is something like you gotta have because it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Sean.
Oh yeah. So I watched all of this season of Squid Game, and
Oh, how was it?
it's good. I find the cognitive dissonance of it and the audience to be more interesting than the show. It's like the show. Have anybody seen the first one at least?
Yeah, I've seen the first season. I didn't watch any of the new one.
It's the second season. The theme is the same. It's like capitalism is bad and it's going to kill everybody. And Netflix is like, oh, neat. Buy a plushie of this thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just this strange orbit that it lives in.
Yeah.
And also, like, I normally say this, but, and maybe this is my fault, but I feel like Korea is like the Asian country I know the least about out of the major ones. You know what I mean? Like Japan, obviously.
Out of the
first.
big three.
Yeah, the big three. Fuck 'em. It's just big B. That's Japan.
Yeah.
Japan is Kendrick Lamar. China is J. Cole. And then Korea is Drake.
Oh, take that! South Korea catching strays.
Yeah.
Korea is obsessed with plastic surgery, so the Drake comparison is pretty apt.
Yeah. I didn't know this, but South Korea is the plastic surgery capital of the world.
Oh yeah, they're like
I had no
insane.
idea.
Yeah.
But it's like there's a lot of things in there besides just like normal Korean culture stuff that like I'm vaguely familiar with just from movies. But they play all these kids games and it's like watching somebody play Calvin Ball. I'm like, I don't understand if this is supposed to be difficult. Like, is this an actual game they play over there? You know what I mean? And like culturally, it feels like, okay, I would benefit from this being more Western. Because like, I just like, it relies so like the themes are the themes and capitalism. We all get that. But like all the games and shit that the shit revolves around is very culturally Korean. And I'm like, maybe if I'm like a 14-year-old girl that's really into K-pop shit, like I'll get it. But it's so much of it is that. And I'm like, I don't know if this is supposed to be hard. Like, I get the tension because they're bad at it. But like, if it was something I was more familiar with, I think it would hit a little bit more. I don't know. It's good. It's 7 episodes.
Oh,
yeah.
7 episodes. That's 7 episodes is sweet. That's a nice sweet spot.
Be a little bit more Chinese, Korea. So Sean.
Well, they tried in the 50s, but that didn't work out.
Yeah, and Japan was like, nobody's gonna be anything but Japanese around here. So besides that, like, I got Cyberpunk 2077 along with the expansion. Have you guys both played it? I know TJ has, obviously, but
yes, I've played it.
I'm playing Phantom Liberty right now.
Sweet. Okay.
I've not played it up till now.
I was worried that I didn't really care about narrative fiction that much anymore. I got this, I forget, the day after Christmas. I texted TJ as soon as I got it. Like I accomplished something. Like, look what I did. And I've played it for 49 hours since then, and I think I'm like a third. Like, I'm playing the Phantom Liberty part, but I think I'm only like a third through the game, and I'm like enraptured by it. And it's
you hadn't played it previously, right?
I had not touched it, no. It was never on sale. Go ahead.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
Did you get? Because I did. I got emotional when spoiler alerts for Cyberpunk 2077. And this happens early. when Jackie gets it, I was like,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I was like, not Jackie.
I was texting
So-
TJ, and it's like, I was like, why am I getting all in my feelings about this? There's a conversation, I don't know, we should just do a whole podcast about this one time, get Nate on. But there's a scene where you have to go talk to this robot hooker, and it's like going through your dreams and
Yes.
what's really wrong with
Oh
you.
my
And I'm like
God,
very
like,
emotionally
that was
affected.
therapy.
Also,
yeah.
I picked the wrong gender by accident, but it made it somehow
I-
even more sweet.
I did the same. I did the same thing because
because the name,
The
the
male
male
was
like,
very
the-
androgynous.
the
male's name is
the male
Angel.
Angel.
Yeah.
So just my level of Cyberpunk play. I'm looking at my Steam account now. I currently have 243 hours logged into Cyberpunk 2077.
Let me see.
Like
what
I was
I'm
telling
at right now.
TJ, I'm at like, whatever, however many hours it was at the time, like 26 or whatever, and I was already dreading the game being over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and like
No,
normally I don't like
it's a banger.
first person games. I'm like, I just want a regular role playing game. Like, oh, once I kind of got into the combat a little bit more, like, okay, like I get this.
Yeah, the combat's
Like, it's-
great too. It's
yeah.
a lot of fun.
Mike,
And-
how many hours did you have, TJ?
243.
314 hours and 13 minutes.
And you've never
Jesus
beaten
Christ.
it, right?
Oh, I beat the
You beat it. You
free
beat it.
DLC. I
Yeah,
beat
yeah,
it,
yeah,
and now
yeah.
this is me coming back to it to play the Phantom Liberty.
Like I'm like when because I don't know what path you guys did. And again, I legitimately think we should just do a special thing on this one time.
I'm fine with that.
But like
yeah.
it's like Panem texts me. I got to get back to my apartment to dance with her again. Like, the same. My only thing that I wish, and it's a very minor thing, but like sometimes the better stats are locked into items that are incredibly goofy looking. So like there'll be this like really poignant scene where I look in the mirror and I'm wearing this like fucking space helmet with ears and shit. It's like,
Well,
that's goofy.
They have transmog in Cyberpunk now, so you can
You can make it look how you want it to look.
you can
and keep
change the
stats.
look of it and make it look
On
whatever.
console
yeah.
too?
Yeah, they have transmog. I forget exactly how you do it. Just Google it. But you can definitely do it. They added that in one of the patches now.
I had to go get David's jacket from Edge Runners because I love that so much, just so I could wear it, even though you never really see it.
Yeah, I know.
It's like-
that. Yeah, me too.
Keanu Reeves is so fucking good in it. The
He's
fucking
amazing in it.
all the performances are fantastic. I don't know who was the
they're really-
director for the voices, but it is amazing. Idris Elba's really fucking good in it.
Yeah.
The brain dance bits, they're like so
The writing
reminiscent of Strange Days.
I meant I gotta send it to you, Gogs. When you go to buy the because I scan everybody because like this is the level of psychosis that I'm at now. When you get the brain dance that you have to get the black market one and one guy standing out there, if you scan him, his name's Lenny Nero.
Oh no shit.
Dude,
I took a
that's
picture of it.
tremendous. That's
Yeah.
I didn't even. That's amazing.
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
And it's like
It's a
like
real
we get
love letter to the genre. Like it is.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
because
there's
like
Well, there's
the
a
Voodoo Boys
hotel.
are definitely the fucking Jamaicans from Neuromancer, right? Like
Neuromancer, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm
There's
coming back
there-
here and I'm killing all y'all. Like I was like upset.
Yeah, I hated that one guy that like treats you bad, so I
Plus
just
Seed,
murdered
yeah.
all of them. I was like, fuck all you guys. There's a hotel in somewhere, I think it's in Pacifica, and it's
Yeah.
called the Batty Hotel.
It is,
Like,
yeah.
always
Yeah.
Batty. Yeah.
And it's even got the font, the Blade Runner font, but it's like, again, this most minor shit, like the cop with his nephew and the fucking boy milking farm, and it's like,
Oh, I was gonna say, did you do the farm mission? That mission is
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah.
oh god, it's so fucking good. Like I love Cyberpunk 2077 more than anything I think I've ever had in my entire life. It's
It's so good. I've replayed it like 5 times. It's like one of the few games where I've just replayed it and replayed it and replayed it.
like I just discovered throwing weapons, and now I'm like sneaking around throwing shit in people's heads.
Yeah, that shit's great.
It's so
Oh,
well.
it's
I ran into. I was doing the early mission where you got to chase down all the rogue AI limousines.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
And you're like,
Delamain.
Delamain
the ones
and-
the portal robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So one of them, I didn't I don't know if this was in the original game or if this was added later or whatever, but I was running around that sent me out in the boondocks somewhere, and I just walked out to some like shed or some outbuilding, and then I found what I guess was Johnny Silverhand's like armored machine gun car.
Oh, hell yeah.
shit.
And then like I didn't even know that was, and then now it's my car. Now it's what I drive around, and I just spray people down with.
There's a mission late in the game where you get his Porsche. Like you could,
No, I got his Porsche.
Yeah,
this is like,
yeah.
this, know what this is?
Mm-hmm.
Because I forgot. This is, I don't know how familiar you are with it. They might have added it after he passed away. But are you familiar with the guy who did the Hoonigan, the car, the rally car driver, not Dave Mira.
Not Colin McRae. The fucking DC guy. What's his name? Ken
The DC
Block?
shoe guy. Ken Block.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the Hoonicorn, like Dodge Charger Challenge, whatever he has that, but the cyberpunk version with armor and machine guns, and that's what it's called. It's called.
Well, that's also new too. They added the vehicle weapons and stuff.
Okay, so this must have been added late, but it's fucking dope.
Dude, this game's so good. It's like most games where I'll stop talking about this because I can literally talk about it for like 4 hours. Like, okay, this is the correct path. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is where I'll get this. I genuinely don't know, and I'm conflicted as to what decisions to make and like how to talk to people and shit. And it's like, fuck.
That's why it's good.
It's so effective.
It's up there with like Mass Effect 2 as far as just the excellent.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, but even more so because like Cyberpunk, I think is like a favorite genre of. Our age. Like that's like right in our sweet spot.
No, put me in this wild dystopian world and just let me explore. Like, let's go.
It's a much better dystopia than just Procter & Gamble owning everything in your life and then slowly grinding you out until you have to work till you're 95 years old.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
That's
all I watched.
One of the techs that works in my company died yesterday. Not out working, but like it made me really depressed because he's like super old and he's just fucking doing hard labor literally until the day he died, and it's like that's fucking depressing as hell.
Yep.
Like, God.
Gogs.
I watched a handful of things. Now they follow up. God, after a death notice, can you make me do this?
Fucking ponderous, man. Fucking ponderous,
man. So I watched a handful of things. The first thing I watched was a very nihilistic film that I love and we've all seen and we all love, but you watched Sicario.
Oh, yeah.
That movie, good as hell, stays good as hell, and everyone in it's tremendous.
Did you ever watch the abomination that is Sicario 2?
Oh, the Soledad of the Dead or whatever it is, or the Day of the Soldier or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you and me saw that in the theater together.
Did we? Oh God,
I remember leaving the theater going. I remember that was a bait and switch because I remember watching the trailers being like, hell yeah, and then I left that theater going, what the fuck was it? They completely lost the message. Like I don't.
Yeah, they totally like missed the point of the.
All of a sudden, the CIA's the good guys. Like it's like what the hell?
So bad.
Because this is like everyone's a bad guy. It's just like, which bad guy's side do you want to be on? Like that's the whole movie. And the only 100%. Person that's trying to be a good person is Emily Blunt. And then at the end, when the chips are down, she has to become a bad guy. It's just like, yeah. Anyway,
how good is Bernthal in the 4 minutes he's in that movie?
Bernthal is just a triumph. You put the man in anything and he is going to steal the scenes. And he's just like, when he's just beat up in the back of that car, and fucking Brolin's there's not a bad performance in the whole movie. Brolin's so good. The guy from Burn Notice is great in it. Del Toro's great in it. Like everyone's great in it. Like, Denny Villeneuve, fucking, you did it again, you bastard. I watched, I think it was from 1980. This movie was nonsensical. And I don't know if either of you have ever seen it. I think it said it was from 2015, but I think it was a reprint of a movie from the 80s because it was very 1980s. It was an Australian film called Body Melt.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen Potty Mouth.
No.
Yeah.
This movie is bananas. Like, there is a pharmaceutical company that is objectively evil, and they are trying to make, I guess, some sort of vitamin that would eventually help with maybe weight loss. And they've got like their own like farm community set up where they've given people housing, and they're using it as test subjects unbeknownst to them. But there's like a weird like redneck, like Texas Chainsaw adjacent, like
Gogs, 1993.
Mongols in the deserts. Oh, 93?
Yes, sir.
What's his name make it?
Big reach on evil pharmaceutical company, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Did Peter Jackson make this? Because it feels like
No,
okay.
no, I forget who made it. I think it was like a B movie guy, like a Troll 2 level director type guy.
Like the gore in this movie is like gross. Like the movie's super gross.
Director also made a movie in 1988 called Salt, Saliva, Sperm, and Sweat.
Wow, what a
I mean,
title!
I love all four of those things. So like, we'll just,
It's an amazing title.
but yeah, this movie's like weird and gross, and like there's like people are literally exploding, and like it's kids are getting it, everyone's getting it. Stuff's just people's chests. It doesn't. I'm still at a loss as to what I actually saw, but it was something.
There is a lot of body melting, if I remember correctly.
Oh, the bodies melt. Like,
Was there an appropriate amount of body melting for you?
you know what? If there was, as opposed to the amount of kickboxing and a prayer before dying, yes, there was enough body melting to keep me satiated.
Satiated, what a word.
I watched 2006's remake of the Bob Clark classic Black Christmas. Not for a new metal horror movie, not bad. Gross, like a lot of eye trauma, like gross, but fun. Like, it's not as good as the OG, but I enjoyed the hell out of it.
You know what? It begs the question, why hasn't somebody just made an eye trauma movie? Because we all are disgusted by eye trauma. If it was just all eye stabs and fingernail ripping.
That's actually not for nothing. Black Christmas 2006, I think 80% of the kills are eye trauma related. It is, and they're getting plucked out, and it's being shown like it is gross.
If you ever want to see a mailbox shoot a boy, this is as close as you're gonna get.
I also watched is it Alexandra Aja? He was the
Alexander Aja, yeah.
He was the I think the EP on this. I watched P2.
Oh, I like P2.
P2's pretty good.
Yeah, P2's
pretty good. It's a good it's Wes Bentley's good in it. Scarlett's good in it. When she turns badass at the end, it's badass, and when she kills dude at the end, it is like he's a piece of shit. Like he deserves to die, but she kills him in a very horrific way.
Yeah. It's a fun movie.
It is a fun movie. So shout out to P2.
That's a movie lost to time. No one remembers that movie.
Nope. And then the whole time they were on level P2, I was like,
it's a new level of movie.
Yeah. And then the next two things I watched were I watched two TV shows for the exact opposite reasons. I watched the first two episodes of you talked about Squid Games. I watched the first two episodes of Beast Games on Amazon. Let me tell you something. I love watching disingenuous strangers cry on TV. Like, I love it. Like, I can't just, manja. I just can't, just watching these people, these pieces of shit, just getting screwed over and crying. Fucking chef's kiss. So shout out Mr. Beast. Good job with you and your
what is even what is the premise of the show?
So here's the premise of Beast Games. $5 million in prize money to one of 1,000. The show starts with 1,000 contestants.
Okay, that's a lot.
On the very first episode, first 10 minutes of the show, they say, "Listen, idiots, I've got $1 million here. If you guys voluntarily leave, I'll give you $1 million. But here's the deal: everyone who voluntarily leaves splits up the $1 million. So,
Okay.
like, if one of you decides to get $1 million, two of you 500,000, right? And on it goes. 51 people eliminate themselves right off the jump for 19 grand a pop. I was like, that's a payday.
That's a payday, yeah. I'd take 19 grand for nothing. Yeah, of course.
So the next game is they're all in these like rows. Like, so they've got 940 people left, 949 people left. They're like, listen, we gotta start eliminating some of you humps. So here's the deal. You're in like 8 rows of 80 or whatever it is, whatever the math works out to be. We need someone to self-sacrifice for $0 in every row. The last 3 rows that don't have someone self-sacrifice, you all get eliminated. So it's strangers screaming at each other to quit and give up and whatever. And then, so now we're killing off swaths of people. We're not killing off, but we're, financially killing them. So then, people are scum, and then that happens. And the third game is, all right, we're going to do the same game. Or the third game was like building blocks. That was dumb. But the fourth game was like, all right, so check this out. Now you're in different rows. I'm going to offer a bribe. If you take the money, you get money, and you also wipe out your whole row until we get to 5. In the first episode, they wiped out half the contestants. And This one dude was talking all this stuff about, hey, it was solidarity, and then he sold out his whole row for 100 grand because of course he would, because I would too. And then people were like, I can't believe he did that. I was like, you can't believe he did that?
100 grand? Yeah.
100 G's? Get out of here,
the premise of the show is greed, basically.
Like, I don't know if I ever shared, like, did you ever, like if I ever, like, won, it's just trolling people for money. Like, it's like, what will these people do? It's just, it is capitalism run amok. It is gross. It's gross. And it's amazing to watch the people that want to participate in it fail. And that's what I love about it. So like I like watching these people get disappointed and sad. That
the
is just
only way you can get me to watch it is if at the end it was like, okay, the last person, if you can kill Mr. Beast, you assume all of his fortune.
Yeah, it is schadenfreude for all the wrong reasons. Now, the other thing I watched for all the right reasons. I watched the entire last season of the Great British Baking Show, a show where, so here's the thing, like the Beast Games thing, right? Episode 1, and these people are on the camera saying, look, people are already eliminated. I lost some good friends. You didn't lose shit. You don't know these people. You don't know them from Adam, and you don't give a fuck. You are here for $5 million. Good on you. But don't fucking act like, and there's people like, I'm going to sacrifice myself. Do it for your family. Remember me. I'm not going to remember you. Shut the fuck up. But then I watched the Great British Baking Show, a show where 12 strangers compete by cooking cakes and pies for over the course of 10 weeks or whatever it is. Not for money. They get a baking dish. That's all you get. There's no problem. You just get a plate. And it's like the nicest show. People are genuinely helping each other out. Like, there is numerous occasions where someone can't get something done and one of their competitors comes over and helps them do it. I'm like, this is so pleasant. Like, this is so nice. It's so heartwarming.
It's
like,
I love opposite of the Beast Games.
Polar opposite of the Beast Games. I'm enjoying them both for completely. One just feeds my schadenfreude hatred of Gen Pop, and the other one is just like reminding me of like the little good morsels of humanity, but they're all British. So there we are. That's everything I watched. TJ.
I watched 2 things.
2 things.
I watched 2024's A24, or no, it's Focus Films. I watched the new Robert Eggers movie, Nosferatu.
Oh.
It's fantastic. I loved it.
Okay, your tone of voice had me scared for a second.
No, it's absolutely incredible. Robert Eggers.
It's not A24?
No, it's Focus Films.
Okay.
It's fantastic. It's Robert Eggers hasn't missed yet. I loved it. It's strangely like a pretty faithful remake of the silent film in a lot of ways, which I thought was interesting. I thought that it was going to be more like its own thing, and I mean it still is, but
it's not a silent film, is it?
No.
Okay.
I just mean like as far as like all the plot beats are every plot beat that happens in the original happens in this, and it's really good. The cast is great. I mean, I feel like Robert Eggers is such a good filmmaker that you just know, like, he's gotten to that level where it's just like, you're going to get like his. I'm saying this wrong, but like his floor is incredible. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's gonna like I can't even get out what I'm trying to say. You're going to get a certain level of quality with his films, and he always delivers. Like, it looks great. The soundtrack is great. The atmosphere is amazing. The set locations that they picked to shoot this movie look absolutely astounding. The acting is fantastic. And, it's got his weird sort of time, accurate, like, period accurate kind of stilted, stagey dialogue, which really works in this movie a lot. The design for Count Orlok is really interesting and unique. Like, it kind of takes the idea, you guys have probably already heard what the big thing that people are complaining about, but I loved it. Orlok has a mustache, which is cool as shit. And I mean, if you think about like what the pictures of what paintings of Vlad the Impaler look like it's a cool thing because he's supposed to be like Romani or whatever, and they generally had like mustaches and facial hair. So 1,000-year-old Romani man. Go ahead, Sean.
Is Lily Depp bad in it? Because I keep seeing people mocking her, and I'm not sure what the context is.
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of her. See Yoga Hosers. I thought her performance, like, she steals the show. She's so good in the movie. I mean, there's a scene where she's like possessed and it looks kind of silly, but in the context of the scene, it works really, really well. No, I thought she was great. I thought everybody was great. I thought her especially, and I have such a low opinion of her from other things that I've seen her in. Maybe it makes me feel like her performance is that much better, but like, she's kind of the anchor of the whole fucking movie. But it's really good. I mean, I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite Eggers. That's probably still The Lighthouse, but like, I love the movie. I can't wait to watch it again. I thought it was wonderful. And Bill Skarsgård, who plays Orlok, if I didn't know that was him, I wouldn't have been able to tell you. Like, he's completely like lost in this character. Like, it looks nothing like him. It sounds nothing like him. It's great. I really loved it. And, if you've liked any other Robert Eggers movies, I'd be shocked if you didn't like this one.
What's your favorite Eggers? Sorry.
Literally just said it like 2 seconds ago. The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse is my favorite.
His favorite Eggers movie is the correct favorite Eggers movie.
Yeah, The Lighthouse is my favorite, followed probably by The Witch, and then, yeah, I don't know, maybe not The Witch, maybe The Northman. I really like The Northman a lot. But I think that guy's amazing. He can do no wrong. Definitely check out Nosferatu. It's wonderful. It's a fantastic movie. I loved it.
I still can't get over the fact that he's not British with that name.
Who, Eggers?
Yeah, it sounds like it sounds like a British name.
Yeah, no, he's not.
From 6.
I also watched the movie I've been meaning to watch for a while now. I've had it on the Plex for like a month or two now. It's called A Different Man, starring Sebastian Stan and I forget his name. I think his name is like Adam Pearson. He's like an actor, but he's got like this like insane like deformity. Like, he's got some kind of like whatever like the Elephant Man had, I think, that kind of handicap or whatever. But he was in Under the Skin. Like, he was in that movie. He's one of the people that Scarlett Johansson kills in that movie. And he's also, so this director, I guess, has had another movie starring him in it, which I haven't seen. But this movie, A Different Man, is really interesting. I really enjoyed it. It felt like a Riley Stearns movie. Like, it's very kind of heightened realism, also kind of like black humor. Interestingly enough, I felt like the point of the movie is kind of the same point as the movie Duel, which I thought was interesting. Cause like, it's kind of about, so like, Sebastian Stan in the beginning of the movie is this deformed guy who's an actor. And it's funny cause like so you're like, well, what is he acting in? And then he has this neighbor that he has a crush on, and she comes over and watches his performance, and it's like it's kind of like a video training videos on like how to be more sensitive towards people with disabilities in the workplace. But she's like, where do they show this? And he's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why that line was like really funny to me, because like the concept that this guy is like a working actor but only acts in like these instructional videos for disabled people. I thought it was very funny. But that's
it's like funny that he does something so hyper specific, but he doesn't understand like what the end goal of it is.
Right. That's the kind of level this movie has. Like, so anyway, Sebastian Stan gets approached by this doctor that's like, oh, I can like, we have this technology that'll revolutionize, everything and take away your face and you'll have like a normal face. And, he goes through with it. And kind of the point of the movie is that like, he learns that like, he was still kind of a piece of shit under it all, like no matter what, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like the movie is kind of like about how, it's kind of about your own attitude. It doesn't matter about your shortcomings, because later on, Sebastian Stan, once he's Sebastian Stan, he looks like Sebastian Stan, he runs into the Adam Pearson character, who legitimately is like that, and who Sebastian Stan like looks like in the beginning of the movie. And he's like magnanimous and everybody loves him, and he's like super positive and like, you know what I mean? And it sounds corny, but the way the movie like goes through with it, like it never feels like forced or cheesy, and I really enjoyed it. I will say that my one problem with the movie is I don't think it quite sticks the landing. Like I really liked it overall, but I felt like for what the message of the movie is, you could have cut it down. Like you could have cut it a half hour shorter, because like it kind of meanders at the end where you're like, okay, I get the point of this movie. It's not that deep. But overall, still really enjoyable, really interesting. Sean, I think you'd like it probably the most out of all present, just because it really did remind me of a Riley Stearns movie quite a bit.
Of the two people here on the chat with you,
I can't remember if Gogs, you liked Art of Self-Defense. You liked it. Did you like Duel?
I liked Art of Self-Defense. I liked Duel. I liked
Did you like okay, then you might like
Wait,
it.
Riley Stern. Wait, who am I thinking of?
No, you're right. He did Duel. He did Art of Self-Defense, and he did what's the cult one?
Fracture.
I never saw Fracture.
Fractures, right?
Fracture is really good, but it's not like the other movies.
No,
I was thinking about
as much.
Boots Riley.
Oh, I love him. He's great.
Boots Riley rules too. Alex, did you ever get around to seeing Kinds of Kindness?
Oh,
not yet. No.
So good.
I was watching
that's Yorgos Lanthimos, is it not?
Yeah,
it's like
it is very Yogurt Lanthimos. It is like the most Yogurt Lanthimos.
Can we watch the tape? Like shit. Oh God, I love that movie so much.
You gotta watch that movie, Gogs, so you understand that reference, because it's very fucking funny. It's such a weird movie.
I know the cast is bananas in that movie.
Well, the best part about Kinds of Kindness is you don't have to watch it straight through. It's 3 vignettes, so you can watch them kind of at your leisure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's three short films in that movie with the same cast in each film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool. Anyway, that's all I watched. So two pretty solid movies. I would definitely recommend A Different Man. Like I said, I have my problems with it, but overall I thought it was solid and interesting. I liked how it was shot, though the director loved doing this weird like push-in shot all the time, which I found like crazy distracting and didn't understand its use. But overall I enjoyed it. I thought it's like a 7 out of 10.
I have my problems with it. The problem is handicapped people are disgusting.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, self-loathing handicapped person here, and I hate myself. Yeah. Anyway, so Gogs, tell us about Tokyo Godfathers, our feature presentation.
Wow.
Tokyo Godfather. Tell us about that.
Oh, there we go.
So this movie is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it justice, so just bear with me.
It is plot heavy, I will say.
It is plot heavy.
It is incredibly dense.
There is a lot of plot in this movie.
So you're introduced to, and this is something this is just because I'm an ignorant Westerner. I was like, they don't have homeless people in Japan. Apparently they do.
Oh yeah.
Because you're introduced to three of them. Jin, who's like a homeless old bearded drunk.
He's the
Hana.
tank.
Yeah, he's the tank. Yeah, Hana's the healer, and I guess is it Hikayu? How's her name?
The girl.
Miyoki.
Miyoki.
Isn't it Miyoki?
What's the baby's name then? Kyoko.
Kyoko.
Okay. Okay, so
Kyoki, caterpillar.
Yeah. So, anyways, Miyoko.
Hana is the best character in the whole movie.
Hana's tremendous. She is the moral compass and the heart and soul of this triad.
I love Hana. My only problem with Hana, and so I put the dubbed version on the Plex, but I found out thanks to this movie that you can download files that have 2 audio files in them, so you can actually change it on the Plex if you want to watch the Japanese version.
Yeah, I watched the dub.
I watched the Japanese version. I read the whole thing.
Let me just say the one thing about the dub version. Hana would be so much better if it was Linda Belcher's voice.
Oh,
wouldn't that be great?
Oh, that would be good.
I was like the whole time I was like,
potatoes.
Oh, wouldn't that be so good?
Yeah, the cranberry sauce.
Somebody at work today mentioned Dutch Baby, and I just have that episode of Bob's Burger.
Creamy, just like Jesus.
Thank you for loving me. Thank you for
being there.
Kill the turkey.
Oh, I look like I feel like an elegant sausage. I love Linda Belcher.
Linda rocked.
So anyway, you got Jin, old bearded drunk. Hana, who is a gay man.
No,
a gay. She's a woman. She's a woman.
Hana is a transsexual.
She's a transsexual, and who refers to herself as a homo the whole time.
Queer in the English dub, but pause.
Queer.
I don't know that Hana is not meant to be a full-time drag queen rather than an actual trans person, and strictly because she constantly refers to herself as like a homosexual male. So, and she does go to a drag review later. So I'm not sure. And from the time period, I would assume, I think you can read it either way, but I don't think it's a slam dunk.
I don't want to misgender the character. Should I refer to Hana as he or she? As
they? Well, in the singular they, it's the easiest.
Well, in the movie, they do refer to her as she, like almost in the entire movie. And the only thing that would lean me towards the transsexual part is at the very end of the movie when they're in the hospital, she's upset that she's in the male
ward. Yeah,
that's true, and she wants to have a baby.
I mean, it's like we're splitting hairs, and also Sean's right. Like I don't know anything about queer culture in Japan, but like I don't know anything about queer culture in Japan or that time period, like how transsexuals were viewed or whatever. So I don't mean to misgender anybody. I'm not sure.
Well, it's also not the thrust of the movie. It's not. You know what I mean? It's not. Yeah.
No, Hana's actually treated and written with such respect. Like like I think it's one of the reasons I like the movie so much, because like she's just one of the gang, really.
I think the person that's the most degrading to Hana is Hana. Like that's the only thing that's like mean to her. And in the reading version, which is what I did, they refer to themselves as a homo most of the movie, which I guess dates this film. So anyway, you've got Hana, Jin, and Miyuki. So tank, healer, and DPS. And they are working their way through being homeless on Christmas Eve in Tokyo. And they're trying to find each other Christmas gifts.
You might find this interesting. Traditionally in Japan, Christmas is treated like Valentine's Day. It is a couple's holiday because they don't have the religious attachment to it. And everybody makes reservations at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
That's also true.
Just like in Demolition Man, where everyone goes to Taco Bell.
Yeah, they stand in line at KFC for upwards of 4 hours.
Yeah.
There's better fried chicken. Wait till Popeyes shows up.
I imagine
Popeyes would destroy Japan right now.
Well, I also imagine that I don't know if you've ever watched TikToks of Japanese food, but like I imagine the KFC in Japan is probably good as hell.
Yeah. Well, it was some marketing thing where somebody that opened up KFCs over there convinced everybody in Japan that's what people ate on Christmas.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Also, anti shout out. I went to a Raising Cane's. It's fine.
Yeah,
like I don't get what all the hype's
it's
about.
It's that dipping sauce, right? Like the chicken's. I've never had it. But
I've had better sauce.
I like the sauce. I have like the fake out Walmart version of that sauce in my fridge. I actually like the sauce a lot.
I think Chick-fil-A sauce is superior. If I'm being,
there is
100%.
A boutique KFC chicken strip restaurant now where you can get sauce flights. Apparently, I don't know how many of them there are.
And they have all of them are doing it because like McDonald's has that like Cosmix now, and the Chick-fil-A has some place called like the Blue Menu. The Blue Menu is actually in College Park now. I want to try it.
I mean, isn't Raising Cane sauce just animal sauce? It's just like animal sauce from like Jack in the Box, right? Like it's all the same.
I'm not super familiar with Jack in the Box.
When have you ever been to Jack in the Box?
When I was in Lost Wages.
Oh,
nice.
All right, anyway, let's talk about the movie. I don't care shit about chicken.
Anyway, so so they're all rummaging, trying to find each other Christmas gifts, and they find books and a baby, like a whole ass baby. And they're like, "Oh snap! A whole ass baby for Christmas."
I thought you said the last baby, like it's a Children of Men.
Well, we don't know actually very well.
I mean, yeah, fair. They don't expound on it.
So Hana's like, "Oh, we got to take care of this baby. It'll freeze," which is the human thing to do. And so they are like, "All right." And then a mystery unravels, right? And I'm going to try and do my best to give this movie justice, but like there's so much plot, and the plot goes this way and that. So I'm going to probably hit it in a non-linear way just to explain all the things that happen. So they take the baby associated with said baby is a locker for like a bus, or a key for like a bus locker.
Just like a dragon.
Transport depot. Yeah. So they go there, they find more clues. They find like cards for like a hostess club with a name, and they're like, okay, well, let's go see if we can figure out some more stuff. Then by happenstance, they come across a Yakuza boss whose car has now rolled upon himself because so this whole movie, like, and I guess at the end, like the story might be sort of, because TJ and I were talking about this before, like the baby sort of acts as almost like this divine force. Is like sort of pushing them through this to get to resolution.
Hana says 100 times that God has a special plan for this baby. I think it's meant to be taken literally at some point.
Well, I mean, at the very end of the movie, there's there's literally like an act of God that saves the baby in Hana's life. I mean, it's not that far a play, you know.
So Kyoko's the baby. So first of all, they take her back to. Originally, they take her back to their shanty town. They try and get it food. They're trying to figure out what to do. They're like, all right, let's go check out the locker. They go to the locker. They find some
people living in a $4,000 a month fucking efficiency in Manhattan wish they had a box set up like this because it looked pretty cozy.
Yeah,
looked nice.
It looked pretty nice. Yeah.
So you find out and there's some exposition. You find out that Miyuki, the young lady of the triad, well, not the triad, but the three of them, she's sort of a runaway, but she'd go home when she wants. Jin,
she's LARPing.
She's cosplaying.
She's also exceptionally young. I think they say that she's like she's in her like late teens. I think.
Yeah, Jin talks about how his family was. His baby died, his child died, and his wife died soon after that because of daunting medical bills. And he tried to he was a bike rider, he was a cyclist, and he was trying to make some money, and he got involved with like a scam or a fixer to throw a big race, but then it all went tits up, and then he couldn't pay for his kids' medical bills, so he's all by himself, so he's just drinking himself into a stupor. More on that later. You don't really get a lot of Hana's backstory until they
Oh, pretty late in the movie, yeah.
Right, till they show up at like sort of their origin, their place of origin. So anyway, they're like, all right, let's go to this hostess club. Let's figure out what's up. They save this Yakuza boss. The Yakuza boss is like, hey, fucking come.
To be fair, you don't know he's a Yakuza boss when they save him from the car.
No, they just save him because it's the right thing.
He is Anton Yelchin himself.
Yeah. Oh. So there's a lot of them just doing the right thing, and then that turns out to like move things along. So they go to the Yakuza boss's wedding, and they find out that the woman Sachiko, I believe is her name, or at least that's the name of the person that they believe to be the mother of this child, is.
Yeah, because they found keys to a locker, right? And then they had
the locker had her business cards.
Yeah.
So then you find out that he owns the club or his daughter is marrying the man who owns the club. And then you find out that everyone's connected like in the mafia sense. And then I kind of lost it at this part, like as to the rationale for why some of these things happened. I guess it was just a hitman situation, like a hired gun, but someone speaking Spanish, which is never translated, at least in the written version.
It's not in the English version either.
I was just picking up little drips and drabs of what's being said. They try to assassinate the mob boss. The groom to be takes like 4 hot ones in the chest. The assassin runs off with Miyuki and the baby, and then they go off to their place and they have like tender moments talking about family bonding over a language barrier and figuring things out.
I just assumed that it was some kind of like mob related thing.
Yeah, like some kind of business.
Yeah, I think it was just like a mob hit. I think that's what they say later in the news.
Kind of wild that they have like Latinos in Japan, because I would have figured when they're speaking Spanish they would be from Spain for some reason. I guess it's closer, but they were legitimately using like a Central American dialect, at least in the English version. I don't know if it's the same voice in the Japanese version.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was like, you know how like when Japanese people do like English, like wouldn't it be funny if they did like a Spanish, like the guy that does like the Terry Bogard is like, Buenos dias. Okay.
Circling back to something we talked about earlier, in the Japanese version of Edge Runners, Adam Smasher is named Adama Smasheroo, which is the funniest shit.
That's awesome.
So Jin was about to go beat up the groom to be, because apparently that was the guy that set him up for his downfall from the gambling situ.
Yeah.
Miyuki gets kidnapped. Hana goes after her, and that's when she's like rolling around with the cab driver who shows up later, right? Like, if I'm getting this correct.
Did we hang on real quick before you get there? Did they already go to the cemetery? Has that part already happened yet?
Right. No, I'm sorry. They went to the cemetery first. They went to the cemetery, and after the cemetery, that's when they ran into the mob.
Because there's an incredibly dark scene in that's not really
where they take the baby supplies from
the offerings. Yeah, it's like, we'll find something, and they find all this baby stuff. So the implication being that a baby had recently died, and I wonder if that's her baby, because their baby was stillborn in the hospital.
I never put that together. Yeah,
it did occur to me to literally write this second. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, we're spoiling this 30-year-old movie now.
But no, that's a great point. I thought the same. I didn't think that, but I definitely thought, they're taking these offerings from a recently deceased child. It was like diapers, formula.
But also the diapers and formula being there is another like, it's another like almost divine coincidence kind of thing. Right. You know what I mean?
So Hana's off trying to find the baby Miyuki. Jin, I think, gets drunk and then wanders off and meets this old man, and they kind of bond. And then the old man passes away, and then some fucking Clockwork Orange kids come out just beating up homeless people for Christmas Eve, as tradition demands, and beat the piss out of Jin. The older guy, I think actually died prior to it. They just whoop his corpse.
He has a funny death moment because he keeps asking him, "Oh, can I have one last thing? Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, can I have one last thing?" And then he finally dies. It's actually like kind of cute.
And then I think he leaves or he hands Jin a bag of, it's either money and the winning lottery ticket for the whole shooting match, which gets revealed at the very end of the movie. So Jin is like on death's doorstep, and like an angel shows up, and the angel's like, what does the angel say? It's like, do you want me to take you to heaven or take you to Kate? I forget what the proposal is that, but he's like,
no, it was like, do you want me to use my magic or do you want an ambulance? And he's like, ambulance.
That was it. So she takes him. So meanwhile, Miyuki, the baby, and Hana meet back up. They get back together, and they're like, all right, well, we're going to go, they have nowhere else to go. We're going to go, Hana's like, we're going to go to see my mom or go see where I came from, go home. So she goes to this, I forget what it's called, Paris Club, the Angel Club, something like that. I forget what the name of the club was.
Yeah.
But it's like a drag club. And then you meet basically the closest thing that you're going to get to Hana's family. Up until this point, and they welcome her back with open arms. They're happy to see her, and you find out her backstory about how some drunk jackass got handsy, and then she got like a fight with him or whatever, and then that she kind of got. It almost seems like she sort of self-exiled after that. Like it didn't seem like they kicked her out. But then you find out that the angel that saved Jin was actually one of the people from this club. So now the whole group has now been reunited, and they get further clues about Sachiko and like her husband, and they find out like, okay, well, they did live here, and they go to this rundown ruined house, and like, or no, they I forget how they got there, but like they have one of the other things they have is keys from the locker, and Jin there's a scene where like this house is in shambles, and like the fence in front of it's wrecked. And they're trying to figure it out, and like Jin like unlocks the door with it, and he's like, all right, honey, I'm home, and the door falls over. And you can kind of see the ruins of these people's life, and they're trying to figure out, what's going on. And I forget if here's where and forgive me, I'm all over the board here, but like at some point Jin kind of reveals it's here or it's like at like the Kinko's or wherever they end up. He kind of reveals that his family is actually dead, that that he just was a drunk and a gambler, and that he ruined his own, his wife and child are still around, but he hopes they're better off without him. So it's honestly, you basically find out these three people are out here in the world because of their own feelings of guilt or shame, or they basically put themselves out here feeling that this is what they deserve or this is what they've earned by their actions, even though the people that love them feel differently. Like that's sort of one of the themes here, because like Hana, she gets welcome back with open arms, and then you find out there's like this weird flashback where you find out about Miyuki is like her dad's a cop, and like she thought he had done something to her cat, so she stabbed him and ran away, and then he's been looking for her, and he like puts an ad in the paper, like because they catch up to each other on the subway, and then at some point, so they have saved up a bunch of money. They've saved up some money, or Jin has some money. It's like 30,000, and he's gonna he wants to give that to his family, and this has all been revealed. And it's like, okay, this is great. We can eat, we can drink, whatever. And then Hana, I forget what happened to Hana. Like she was bleeding at some point, was she having like an embolism or something?
She had like bronchitis or something very minor,
really,
like some kind of
They never tell you. Yeah, they never tell you what it was.
Oh, there's also I forgot. So you guys might be right about her being trans, because she does say at some point, it's somewhere at this point where she says she's like a mistake from God and she was supposed to be a woman. So I guess that's probably.
Yeah.
Did we lose the plot about the really old man getting beat up, or was that later?
No, that was I mentioned that. Like,
Okay,
well,
all right, gotcha.
Well, he was already dead when he got beat
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
he was, yeah. But he had the winning lottery ticket. That he
Gotcha.
found.
Okay, yeah.
Which he gave to Jin. So then they take Hana to the hospital, and they fix her up, and she gets reunited with. I'm sorry. They have to spend uh, Jin gets reunited with his daughter at this point because she's a nurse at the hospital.
Who you find out's also named Kyoko, which
Who's
is
also
like,
named Kyoko.
yeah.
And they have to spend the 30,000 yen that they have on Hana's hospital bills, but that's fine. And now, forgive me, I forget why they split up at this point, but like Jin, does he just go off and get drunk? Like Jin goes off one direction, and Miyoki and Hana go off another way with
No,
the baby trying to.
they split up because Hana gets upset because I think she feels slighted because he gets reunited with his daughter, and comes clean about all his
He
stuff.
wasn't a
truth.
pro cyclist and all that.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he just gave up on everybody.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. So she feels like dejected and leaves him. So that's why they break up.
Also, she's in
Sure.
love with him, right? Like I'm
Yeah,
to
very
understand that.
much
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Okay.
100%. Well, doesn't Naoki even say it at a certain point? She's like,
Yeah.
aren't you guys in love? And she like,
Yeah.
I think Jin's in love with her too. So like
1,000%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So earlier in the film, when they first find the baby, they're like, "We can take it to the cops," and Hana's like, "No, we can take care of this baby." Well, now they finally were like, Hana's like, "Fuck it, we gotta take it to the cops."
That's
like,
what I
if
wanted to do in the
mom-
first fucking place. Yeah.
Oh, I know what it was. Okay, this is what happens. Jin knows where the apartment is. That they left their ruined house. They're going to an apartment. Jin's going there. Hana and Miyoki are going somewhere else after the breakup, and they're like, "Fuck it, we're gonna go take the baby to the cops." And Hana's like, "I couldn't stand the idea of what if some mom, is missing her baby and kills herself over this? That would be the worst thing ever." And like, as they're saying,
Funny enough, yeah.
like, and then Hana's even talking about like how she would just take her shoes off and then stand on the hill and throw herself into the river, and that's happening in the background, and they see it, and they catch this person from jumping off, and then you find out that that's the woman that abandoned Yoko. And so Hana slaps her. He's like, "How dare you?" And she's like, "My husband did it. I didn't want to give up the baby. Like, please, And they're like, "Okay, here's your baby. We've done our good deed. Let's go celebrate and relax." And then, meanwhile, simultaneously,
Wow.
Jin is at this rundown apartment, and this guy's in there, and he's talking about how, his wife, I guess he was a gambler and a drunk and a piece of shit, but
Everybody in
wife
Japan's a
and him,
fucking degenerate.
his wife, he didn't give up. He gave up the baby because they lost their baby, and his wife stole this baby, and that's not their baby. So then Jin goes trucking across town to find this baby, to find them. And there's this hilarious scene actually where he's like pantomiming, like he's so out of breath he can't speak. He's pantomiming, he finds them, he's like, we gotta get the baby back. And so then maybe Jin does have some sort of bicycling prowess, because the woman who stole the baby, she's trying to like breastfeed it like on a park in the snow, and like it's not her baby.
And the baby is shrieking entire time.
So they're running through the town, all the babies. She's setting off this one baby's frequency. Kyoko's frequency is setting off all of their babies. So all babies are shrieking simultaneously.
I did like how it set off like the baby alarm, like every baby.
But they they find her, and then this woman straight up steals a box truck, and Jin like jumps on a bike and starts hustling after him. And then Hana runs into the taxi driver who had driven around before, who she was kind of like hitting on. And the taxi driver's a decent person. He's chasing the truck, and Jin's chasing the truck. And then Jin starts doing some Marty McFly sketching on the thing, and they get the truck. They finally, chaos ensues. There's a big back and forth. They finally get the truck to stop. A woman runs up to the top of the roof of this building. Everyone pursues her. Or no, I'm sorry. Miyoki pursues her. And this woman gets to the top of this building and she's like, fuck it, she is the baby. She's like, I'm gonna kill myself. That's enough. Like, I lost my baby. I couldn't deal with that. I'm so sad. Like, I'm donezo. Like, deuces. And she goes ready to throw herself off the building. She does so. Miyoki catches her. And she's like, look, just give me the baby. Like, let's work this out. Then they both slip. And then Hana and Jin show up and save Miyoki from falling off. But meanwhile, a crowd is assembling. The piece of shit husband to the woman is like calling up saying, please don't kill yourself. I love you. Like that happened before she launched herself or whatever. So then the baby falls. Hana dives after it, catches the baby, hits a ledge, flies off, grabs onto this banner and is plummeting to the earth. And then a divine power intervenes, puts a breeze up underneath and like lowers her safely to the earth. The baby is reunited with her family. Our heroes are reunited at the hospital. The parents want to thank them and they want the three of them to be the godfathers of their child, hence the title. And the person who is working the case for the parents of the missing child is actually Miyoki's father. So everyone has been, at the end of the film, all people have been reunited with their people, and on top of all that, our three heroes' bond is made even stronger, all by the intervention of this child.
And like Gog said, and Gen has the fucking winning lottery ticket
right
in his bag.
Yeah, and it's just like,
and he's ripping cigs in the hospital like a real man.
He's ripping cigs, and he's just like, he's out here like, he's a real Blake Bortles. So
first thing I do when I wake up, take a piss.
I don't know, probably working construction, ripping cigs. So
and that's the movie. That's credits. Like
that's the credits. Like the first half of this movie, I was kind of like, I don't know, like whatever. Then the plot started to pick up. By the third half, Jesus Christ. By the third act, I am in tears. I am just, it is such a joyous, like it's the happiest of endings. Like it is.
It's also like the movie gets incredibly dark. I mean, there is a mob execution. There's like an attempted suicide with a baby. There's the implication of them taking the food of the dead baby to give to, you know what I mean? Like there's
it's not a feel good romp.
There's an AIDS reference in the movie.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's a lot. I don't know if you guys read anything about this, but because you guys were talking about Cone kind of before this, he had a sequel where like the characters were all robots. It was like 3 Tokyo Godfathers that were robots, and they made about 600 shots, but they tried to finish it. Nobody in Madhouse could, like, because Cone is such a good artist, and like the way he shoots and directs animation is so like unique to him that they just couldn't do it. They couldn't sync it up, so it's just never going to get finished.
That's a shame.
Because this movie is beautiful. Like I had to pause it a couple times to take the dogs out, and every time I came back in and just looked at a still of it, I'm like, this is gorgeous.
Yeah,
some of the shots are so well done that I thought they were like real. I thought they'd like interjected film at some point. Like
and his character designs are also so interesting and like full of life. Like there's just something about Satoshi Kon. Like his stuff is just so well done and
they're so cartoonish within the realm of still looking like real people. Like obviously it's a drawing, but like they're not like super exaggerated, but like they're kind of like stretched to the limits of exaggeration.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, there's just something special about the way that he made a movie. Like I don't know, it's like I get really sad when I think about him passing away, because like I just wish we had more, because he only made 4 movies. And
I wish we could have lived through his shitty era, like his Steam Boy era. Like, oh, okay.
He made 4 movies and 1 short, because he's got a short in that Memories.
Robot Carnival? Oh, Memories. Yeah.
No, Memories. That short that's fucking awesome. It's the one where it's like the space crew and it's called like Crimson Rose or something is the name of the movie. But it's about the space crew that like they follow this like distress signal, and it's like this haunted spaceship that like is showing them their
Is
own
that the one with the
like
cat?
it's got a cat and it's got like an
Yeah.
opera singer. It's really good. Really,
He also
really good.
made that Paranoia Agent show that I'm supposed to watch, but I still haven't gotten around to.
It's on the Plex.
Did apparently this is based on another movie? Like there's a movie called Three Godfathers or something?
Not familiar. Didn't know.
Yeah, it says one of the things I read about.
Magnetic Rose is the name of the short.
Magnetic Road, yeah.
Khan was inspired by the 1948 American film Three Godfathers.
Never heard of it.
It looks like it's John Wayne's in it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Hopefully he plays the trans lady.
Yeah, it's a Western. Weird.
Oh, now I got a vagina, Pilgrim.
What do you think about my vagina, Pilgrim?
I like how your John Wayne impression is Matthew Modine doing John Wayne in Full Metal Jacket.
That's all I got. All I can do is Joker.
Don't listen to Rafter Man's bullshit.
The movie sounds like it's basically about three cowboys that find a baby and then have to try to find its home.
It's just 3 men and a lady, or 3 men and a baby.
Yeah.
Well, both of them.
So apparently, Three Godfathers. So that John Wayne version is a remake of an even older movie that's also called Three Godfathers.
The Bible. Oh, okay.
But it's a remake of a 1936 movie. So this movie has been remade twice. This
does feel like I made this comparison with something else we watched recently, but this does feel like a big epic American animated movie from the 80s, kind of like an American Tale or something of that ilk.
Yeah,
like you almost expect there to be musical numbers in this. It's got that kind of vibe. Thankfully, it's not, because it's already like a little bit long for an animated movie. I don't think it's slow, but you probably don't want to break it up too much.
Thank God there's
for this movie is
in this.
Dope. The poster's so fucking. The poster for this movie, is awesome. Like
I'm gonna put it out there on Front Street. Satoshi Kon over Miyazaki every day and twice on Sunday. Like, I'm much more into his vibe than like something like a Porco Rosso or some shit where it's like, oh god, this is interminable.
Yeah, that was not. I mean, that was a very weak showing. To be fair,
I know, but still, like, he made fucking Perfect Blue and this and Paprika banger.
Millennium
I've never seen Millennium Actress.
That's really good.
I've only seen the only Miyazaki stuff I've seen is Nausicaa and the one with the raccoons that bounce on their balls. I've yet to see
Rocket Knight Adventures, I think that's called.
Yeah. And I haven't seen Kiki's Delivery Service.
Kiki's is fun, yeah. I don't think any of them are as good of films. Like, these are actual, like, I don't want to put it this way, but these 3 Satoshi Kon movies are actual movies. Like, they're real, films.
Yeah.
Perfect Blue so good, Darren Aronofsky ripped it off twice.
True. Yeah, that's true.
What does that turn into? What does he make?
He references it heavily in
Going for a Dream and then Black Swan.
And Black Swan is Perfect Blue. Like, he wanted to make TJ's told the story a few times, but basically he wanted to make that movie. They were like, no, and he's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway, and then also say that it had nothing to do with it, even though it's exactly the same.
Yeah. One of the early signs that I didn't like Darren Aronofsky very much.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else you want to say before we get into 5 knuckle shuffles? No. I think I have a pretty good idea what these scores are going to be, but I'm going to turn it to the one person on the show that hadn't seen this movie before, Gogs.
Hang on, you didn't do the noise. You got to do the noise.
It also isn't the same because Alex not here. I can't ask him what his favorite thing was.
Was your favorite part about this the Godfathers?
Was your favorite part about this the weird literary references? Don't ruin that. It's Tolstoy. Whatever. Or no, it was Dostoevsky.
Dostoevsky. So like I'm saying, like the first half an hour, or whatever it was, I was like, this feels like a miss. Like I was like, it's probably like 6-7 territory. By the end, I was overwhelmed and in tears. So it's a 10. This movie's great.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's lovely. The story is heartwarming. It's a feel good. It's a feel good movie in the best way possible. It's earned. It's not just sappy bullshit. It's great.
I think it really got to you. You seem to get kind of a little welled up with emotion talking about it.
It's great. Like
God loves a baby.
I love the baby. It's solid, and the characters are great. The characters are well developed. The animation's beautiful. The whole thing's just great. So strong recommend. I would be interested in watching the dubbed version just to hear what it sounds like.
It's really good.
They did a great job. Yeah, they did a good job.
But yeah, no, it's a 10. Absolute, it's a banger. I'm gonna go watch. I liked it so much, and I don't think I was this moved or this into Paprika. I think I thought it was probably fine. I'm trying to look at what my score was. We watched that this year, didn't we? Last year?
2 years ago? Yeah.
Well, whatever it was.
You should watch Perfect Blue.
I was gonna go watch Millennium Actress.
Oh, you'll like that too. That's good.
Yeah, I gave Paprika a 7, but this is a 10. Sean.
So good at cure Gog's turfiness.
Hey!
In the pantheon of my Christmas movies being I Come in Peace, The Muppet Christmas Carol, and this is a 10. Like, this is like the best Christmas movie. I will suffer no argument. It's also one of those, like, I know a bunch of them said it, anime to show people that don't think they like anime. Like, if you don't like this movie, there's something deeply wrong with you. Like, I don't understand how you cannot emotionally invest in this movie unless you're just like an abject piece of shit.
You have to be like dated off the scale. Like, you have to be, or just a sociopath. Like, those are
you have to be like an Elon Musk level fucking like we say retard now. Oh, we gotta wait till the end of January. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be like one of those fucking bloodless freaks to not like love this movie. It's gorgeous. It's a great story. It's about like putting together a family. There's divine intervention. There's fucking Guatemalan hitmen in Japan. There's double breastfeeding. 2 for 2 tits. Like, you get that. I mean, this movie fucking rules. Like, and it's a road movie with no cars that they drive, basically. It's very propulsive. There's a lot going on. I don't know, man. Again, it's just like the animation and just the drawing, the draftsmanship is like top notch. So,
agreed.
Yeah. TJ.
It's a 10 for me, dog. I love this movie. This movie is incredible. I think the first time I watched this was a couple years ago, and it blew me away. I mean, I just think it's amazing. Like, I think it's so well written, and like, I mean, I love a lot of anime, and a lot of times with anime, like, even great anime stuff, like, I feel like it's almost like how I feel about a lot of like 70s horror movies where like, you kind of forgive their shortcomings because you know what they're going for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like you don't have to give this movie that kind of grace. Like, this movie's already written so fucking well, and the world is so well developed. These characters are so fleshed out and feel real, and I don't know, there's something just, like, every aspect of this movie is fucking beautiful, and it's really, really fucking good. Like, I think it's, like Sean just said, this is one of those, like, if you don't like anime, maybe you should check this out, because this is like a shining example of the medium and like how far you can push the medium. And it also, I mean, I don't think it has any of the kind of annoying anime tropes that are usually
nobody
in
fucks
anime.
A child.
I don't think there's like anything that's like questionable in this movie. I mean,
Like,
that's the problem with a lot of anime. Like, even the good stuff is like, there's always like one scene where you're like, oh yeah, just ignore that. It's
Yeah.
like the fucking Smithers, like, you should probably just ignore that.
in a fair and just world, this is the movie everybody sits down to watch instead of It's a Wonderful Life. You know what I mean? That should have been this movie for this era, and maybe it's that in other places, but it should be like this here too.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, that's a certified good ass movie.
Certified good ass movie.
Put it on the Blu-ray. What are we doing next month? Do we know? Or we're gonna have to just announce that when we post the episode next week. I don't remember.
Sylvester Slanguary too.
Oh wait, aren't we starting a new format next year?
Well, right. We're doing like a snake draft, right? Like we're gonna start a movie
all
and
right.
then.
So you guys will have to, and at some point we got to do the Molies, but we'll probably do that at the end of the month. All right, everybody. Well, have a good New Year. We'll figure out what we're doing next month. I'm sure it'll be exciting.
You'll know when we know.
Exactly. Have a happy New Year. Don't get too drunk, but if you do, make sure to eat your own ass.
Bingo.
Another year in the fucking toilet.
God, we've been doing this for a long time.
I know, like 20 years. Feels like.
Hey,
All right, everybody.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.